Today, I'm going to be telling you a story. It's a first for me and most likely for a lot of people here that happened very recently. And it's a weird one. It's a weird one, a bit out of what we share on this channel, but it happened in the UK. So I thought I should bring it out here to see if there's any other person that's like me and also to know what you think about it. I want you to imagine spending £10,000 with your favorite online store. You trust this store, you rely on this store, and you even feel loyal to them. And then one day, bam, you get an email from them, and it's not a thank you email, it's not a discount email. Guess what it is? A ban. The account is permanently deleted, no warning, no explanation, just gone. Imagine if that were me, because I do a lot of online shopping. I barely have time to go to the shops to look for clothes. But when I get to the shops, I feel so confused and I end up either going back empty handed. Imagine if that were me. Well, it's not the end of the world, but we'll understand as we go. This actually happened just recently, like I said. And even though the headlines, the news, and everything may have moved on, the truth is the story hasn't moved at all. And here is the twist: the person in question wasn't breaking any law. So the ban didn't come from the fact that she broke a law. She didn't even break the online store's return policy, but she used it a little too much. And now, anyone who shops online, like more, needs to pay attention, because what happens to this fine lady can happen to anyone. So let's meet the customer at the center of this digital breakup. Unfortunately, I cannot pronounce her first name. And in order not to say it wrongly, I would like to call her Miss Frazer. Miss Frazer is well spoken. She's confident. She's a size 18 woman who stands at about 5'9". She's professional, and she's the kind of woman who shops with a purpose. And over the years, Miss Frazer has spent £10,000 or more on this online store that I'll give you the name very shortly. Some of you may already be familiar with this story, so journey with me. So she has spent at least £10,000 on this store. And the reason she shops with this store is because they stocked sizes of clothes that fit her body type. And this is something that most fashion brands really struggle with, especially for plus size people. There are some stores you go to as a smaller person, you may not see what fits. Either is always oversized or undersized. The size just doesn't match. And for me, to be very honest with you, I won't be mentioning the brand I shop with, but I shop online and with a particular store. That is because I know their size, how will I call it? I know the size that suits me. So many different brands. So you say you wear size 14, you buy size 14 at this online store and it's too big or it's too small. Or you go to this store and you buy a size 14 and it actually fits. So you know a store that sells what suits you and at what size. It may not be your standard size, but you know what size of their clothing fits your body type. So this is what Miss Fraser did, and she just stayed glued to this brand. And this brand ended up shocking her with an email that her account was permanently banned for breaching fair use policy. There was no warning, according to her. There was no conversation, just blocked. So what did she do exactly? This is where it gets interesting. She didn't steal, no. She didn't harass any staff. She didn't leave a nasty review or anything that one would easily imagine as being a reason for a ban. But she returned a lot of items. Miss Fraser said she often bought a lot of sizes of the same outfit, because now we call the brand name, okay, so that most of us can, at least most of us can relate. I have actually shopped with this brand before, ASOS. I hope that's how it's called, it ASOS. I call it ASOS. I don't know if it's ASOS. Let me call it how I used to call it, ASOS. So she bought multiple sizes of the same outfit. And truly, ASOS sizing can feel like playing dress up in the dark. I've bought what I would think is my size of clothing from them before, and it was, my God. It was so tight, and the bottom part was so funny. And in fact, let me not even go there. But I can totally relate with why she would buy multiple sizes of the same dress. But also, I would want to think that if you've been shopping with these people for a while, you should actually know what size suits best. But it's not up to me. Let me just continue with the story. So she says she never know like what's going to fit. So that's why she used to buy multiple sizes of the same outfit. And when you're tall, plus size, or in between categories, you learn to over order and return what does not work. That is the theory, right? And this is what happened that led to her being permanently banned by ASOS. I'll stop calling them ASOS because I don't know if that is the way to pronounce it. So I'll just continue calling them online store. At least you now know what the brand is. Let me tell you what some people think about this. Some comments that have been made. Somebody said, and I'll read it. What does ASOS expect? Their sizes are all over the place. So people need to order multiple sizes. And if she's spending 2K a time, then it's going to be a massive order, isn't it? She's going to need multiple sizes of each item to make sure the fit. If it's free returns, I normally just order one size and send it back. If it doesn't fit, but if it's paid returns, I order multiple sizes 99% of the people. Surely a warning should be given and perhaps a chance to prove you aren't just trying them on for videos and then returning. Obviously, this person agrees that the sizing for this company is all over the place and you can hear exactly what she thinks. Another person says she might have been making TikTok videos and then sending the clothes back. That's a very common thing these days. Really? Do people do that? Oh, dear Lord. I don't have the things that people do. I don't have the mind to do it, honestly. Then we can see someone else that says the problem was she was buying various sizes of items to see which one fit and then returning the items that didn't. That's actually quite unfair as it cost the retailer a considerable amount of money to cover return postage. This may be where the retailer had an issue. Could be that maybe the cost of returning these items has been either equal or more than or half or reasonable enough for them to incur losses rather than profit from the items she has bought. So this person supports the retailer, not the client. Another person said this, that last month I bought 3 pairs of trousers from ASOS, all in the exact same size. None of them fit. One was too big, one was too small, one was too big on the waist and too small on the bum. Remember I told you about my dress I bought that was very weirdly fitted. The up was funny, too tight. The down was either too loose, too tight. The bottom was, the sizing was all over the place. And it was a very expensive dress. Very expensive. Let me continue. What's weird is that the trousers were the exact same product that I had bought earlier in the year and which fit me perfectly. You see, that's the thing. I've actually stopped buying from these people frequently because of these sizing issues. You see a very beautiful dress you want to buy, and sometimes it comes and the sizing is so off. The only thing I've not had complaints with from them is their shoes. But this is not me speaking for or against ASOS, please. All right, I'm just sharing this story with you and also sharing my own experience with this company. Time to time, if I want to, I may still buy some stuff from them, right? If I feel like it's absolutely necessary. But I really had an issue with their sizing as well. This person went on to say there's no consistency in their clothing. You can buy something that you love, but then a second copy of it won't fit you at all. Punishing customers for your own inconsistency is gross. So there are so many people for the customer and a few for ASOS. Another person says, sounds like she was driving a double-decker bus through their policies. Any retailer has the right not to sell to someone for any reason they choose. With this lady, she was probably costing them more than the value of the items she was buying. I won't say more. So what is actually happening behind the scenes, according to everything that has been happening online? Many of these retailers are quietly cracking down on return heavy customers. So those people that have been over returning. And to be fair, it's not, should I say it? It's not fair if you're an over returner. But the truth is, like I said earlier, if you've been with an online store for a while, then you should know what fits. But if that company does not suit your needs, just move to another one and try and see. The logistics of returns are quite expensive, I won't lie to you. Like the company that I use consistently, if you have to return from home, you will pay for it. Do you understand? So you pay. In that way, you are the one incurring the cost of the returns. And I really don't mind because they've been serving me good. Sometimes I just drive to the store. And if you drive to the store, you don't need to pay anything. You just return it to the store because they have a physical store. But I don't think ASOS have a physical store. I'm not sure. Why I said logistics are expensive is because anytime a return has been made, warehouse worker is involved, repackaging fee is there as well, there's shipping cost for those that is free returns. So these and many more are involved in just one package that has been returned. And sometimes some clothes that may have been damaged as a result of returning, or maybe stain, for anything can happen when you are trying on a clothes and then you return. So all of this is a loss to the store. But most customers don't think like that, right? They don't. And if you multiply this one person by thousands and thousands of shoppers, you can imagine the cost that the online store would incur from these returns. So this online brand, which we are talking about now, introduced a fair use policy. It's not clearly defined. There is no obvious limits, right? Just vibes. And if they feel like you're overdoing it, you're out. So for Miss Frazer, this wasn't just a lost account for her. She said that this online store was her safe haven. And it was one of the few mainstream stores that actually sold clothes that fit her body type and respected her style. So she felt let down, not just by a brand, but by a system that punished her for needing options that work for her size and shape. So what's the takeaway here, guys? First of all, retailers are watching. In case you didn't know, now you know that they are watching you. And if you're over returning, that may be you on your way out without even knowing it. The second takeaway is that consumers are actually stuck in the middle. Brands will say, shop with confidence, but penalize you for doing exactly that. The third is, I would like to say that the system still doesn't accommodate real people, especially people that are outside the straight size range. Or maybe also we need to rethink how we do our online shopping. Are we just over ordering because of convenience? Could we rely less on fashion and focus more on brands that focus on fit? Or should we be asking for better size guides and customer reviews before we check out? Most of the time you see customer reviews anyway, and there's always size guides, but these size guides it doesn't follow most of the time. It's just the standard thing they put there, but most of the time it doesn't work. So at the end of the day, Miss Fraser's story may be one woman versus an online store, but it speaks to a bigger truth. Online shopping is broken for real people, and brands are now punishing shoppers for adapting to a system they created in the first place. This system is actually good for us, don't get me wrong, because you cannot get something that doesn't fit and you keep it, especially if it's very expensive. Even if it's not expensive, if something doesn't serve you, then don't keep it. So normally you shouldn't get punished for that. So you tell me in the comment section, have you ever bought too much and returned? Or do you think ASOS was wrong to protect their business? The many online shoppers can actually relate with this story when it comes to returning items. So let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are. And for Miss Fraser, I hope she finds another store that would serve her better, because this was a permanent ban, and they even said that she should not attempt to open another account in the future, unfortunately. So all the best, guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.